rotate or lock them. This clutch is called the forward clutch. It enables the car to advance when you change into drive by moving the two remaining planetary gear sets, called the input gear set and the reaction gear set. Two clutches, installed as one unit, go in next. The coast clutch controls both the input and reaction gear sets, enabling the car to coast in low gear and progressively brake in higher gears when you take your foot off the accelerator. The other one is called the direct clutch, which locks the two gear sets so there's no reduction in speed. Next, the reverse clutch. When in reverse, it moves the reaction gear set, enabling the car to back up. A clutch is made up of layers of metal and friction material, such as resin-impregnated paper. The transmission's last clutch is called the second clutch. It uses both the input and reaction gear sets to switch the transmission into second, third and fourth gears. With all the gear sets and clutches now in place, workers can connect the transmission to the rest of the car's electronics. These cables are known as the harness. Next comes a drive chain and two sprockets. This hookup is the critical link between the transmission's gear sets and its torque converter. The torque converter is the component that transfers power from the engine to the transmission. The sprockets, along with the final drive, convert the engine speed to the appropriate transmission gear. The car's computer directs this hydraulic control system to change gears as needed. The computer triggers an electronic switch, called a solenoid, to open a specific control valve. This applies hydraulic pressure to engage the clutch around the relevant planetary gears. The system releases hydraulic pressure to disengage the clutch and lock the gears. Now the final connection for the shifting mechanism, linking this manual valve to the detent lever. The gear lever moves the detent lever, which makes the valve direct hydraulic pressure accordingly. This steel bar, called the output shaft, directs transmission power from the final drive at one end of the transmission to the driver's side front wheel at the other end. Next, they install springs and servos, part of the hydraulic control system that help engage and disengage the clutches smoothly. This tube assembly goes in next. The control valves route hydraulic fluid through these tubes to the different clutches. Now the torque converter. It spins a shaft that turns those sprockets and drive chain we saw earlier. A steel bar called the stub shaft is the final link, sending transmission power from the final drive and differential to the front wheel on the passenger side. Did you get all that? Because it came automatically to me.